But welcome everyone to our Cheltenham High School curriculum night. My name is Dr. Lahara, and I am the very proud principal of the Cheltenham High School. I'd like to welcome our current students at the high school for our course scheduling session. And I would also like to give a warm welcome to our CBK students who are joining the call, and parents as well who are joining the call today as well. In a minute, Dr. Hammond, our assistant vice principal, will go over the PowerPoint presentation, and then we have some other panelists that are going to give you some information as well. I'm looking forward to welcoming next year for the 22-23 school year, the class of 2026, and you will be transitioning from Tigers to Panthers. So I'm sorry, from I forgot what Cheltenham. Anyway, you'll be transitioning to Panthers. But welcome everyone, and without further ado, I'd like to welcome and turn it over to Dr. Hammond. Dr. Hammond.
Hello, everyone. I'm actually making a comment right now to one of the questions. The link that was sent out, it works if you type it. It wasn't working if they were just clicked. I'm not sure why that ended up happening, but thank you for coming. Thankfully, that is also why we are recording tonight, so that everyone still has access to this. If some of you that are on want to message people that you know to let them know that they just have to type that in, cheltenham.org/Zoom, it will bring them right into this meeting. So the agenda for tonight, we are going to present the, the presentation about course selection and making the requests. And throughout the time, one of the key themes you're going to hear from myself and Ms. Cohen, the department chair for guidance, is how important this part of the process is for building your schedule next year. It is extremely important to take the time, parents, to talk to your scholars, for scholars to really look at the course description guide and think about what courses they want to take, because when that schedule gets built, it is built with your requests. And once you make your change, once you try to change your mind after that is built, there's no guarantee you will get the things that you want. So right now is the best time and best part of the time in that process to guarantee you get the best schedule possible. After that presentation, we're going to have a short presentation about the freshman experience, which is our freshman transition program. Then we'll have a small little presentation on project-based learning. Then we will have a presentation about our Eastern Center for Arts and Technology, which is an option that is available for 11th and 12th grade students. And then at that point in time, we will end this webinar, and you will be given a link to go and view a short video that was recorded by most of our department chairs and some of our teacher leaders regarding the different courses that we offer within our departments. I do want to highlight some important dates and timelines throughout this process. Starting today until February 1st, all scholars will have the opportunity to start making their requests inside of PowerSchool. We will review how to do that and show you where that is. We definitely encourage parents, all of our parents, to talk with our scholars throughout this part of the process and make sure they pick the best courses and electives that they want built into their schedule. From February 1st to March 11th, that is when all of our counselors will start meeting individually with each scholar and look at the requests that they made, make sure that those requests actually fit together properly within our block schedule. And then they'll also make sure that they pick the best courses that are open for them. So that we, again, once this process is over, there's less likely of an opportunity for a scholar to want to change their mind, because they are really taking the course that is going to be best fit. At the end of May, the schedule should be mostly complete. I don't want to say completely complete or completely finalized, because there's always tweaks and changes that need to go in to make something this big fit together. But each scholar will be given at that time, these are the definite courses out of your alternates and your required that you chose, your main requested courses that are going to go into your schedule. You won't know what period and where they fall within that schedule, but you will know these are the courses that you will have that will build your schedule. From May 31st, after they get that, that list, to June 13th, they're given one more opportunity to make any changes to those requests. Now, I will put the disclaimer here. At this time, the schedule is already 90% completed. So making requests at this time, it's even harder to guarantee those requests. Sometimes at this part of the process, you know, a scholar doesn't want to take an upper level class and they want to take something else instead. At this time, there could be a possibility that you have to give up something to get something. That's not always the case. Sometimes it works out beautifully, but I just want to make sure that that is known, that if you wait till this long to make that change, yes, we're going to try to make those changes for you, but they're not always as easy as just snapping your finger and you got that course. Over the summer, that's when I will be finalizing schedules, making last minute places on where is the best fit so that it maximizes and gets as many scholars that wanted the course to have it, and placing it in the specific period. All of those changes will be finalized, and then we roll over our PowerSchool, which makes our schedules open for all of you to see. So you will see your teachers, your room numbers, everything about your schedule once the rollover happens, which happens towards the end of July. And at this time, I'm going to now pass it over to Ms. Cohen, who is the Guidance Department Chair.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. As Dr. Hammond said, this is the start of this process, which runs the entire semester. So welcome. We're glad to have you. For those of you who have seniors, you've been through this before, but there's still lots of different options for you. So, lots to pay attention to. And incoming freshmen, welcome to Cheltenham High School. We're happy to have you also. So the course description guide for 22-23 is now posted live on the counseling website. So that is a description guide where every single course we have has a paragraph explanation about it. There are suggested prerequisites. In the guide also includes information about credits and graduation requirements and honors classes and a whole lot of good information. So definitely encourage you to find this. If you go to the high schools page, go to the counseling page, and on the left side, there's a button that says course selection. You can find it there. First thing to do is understand what it is you need to do in order to graduate from Cheltenham High School. We are transitioning right now in terms of, since we moved to block scheduling, students have the option to take 8 credits a year as opposed to 7 in previous years. So we have added some additional requirements, and both in terms of credits and courses. But for our current junior class, so this would be the class of 23 who will be seniors next year, all of the course requirements remain the same. They will still need 4 credits of English, a credit of Phys Ed, which is taken as 2 courses, 3.5 credits of social studies, 3 credits of math and science, 1 additional credit of math or science, world language, a health class, and enough electives so that your total number of courses of credits is at least 25 in order to graduate. So that's for current juniors. For everybody from 10th grade class of 24 on, the requirements have changed. Still need the 4 credits of English and the 1 credit, which is 2 credits of Phys Ed. Now, though, we have increased it to 4 credits of social studies, including a government class that all students will need to take, 4 credits of math, 4 credits of science, again, including the bio, still the 1 credit of world language, and still the half credit of health. Please be aware that the requirements for credits has increased also. So the class of 2024 will need 27 credits to graduate, since they did have a year under only 7 credits last year. So their total is 27, and everybody else from class of 25 and beyond is for 28 credits. So some things to think about as you are beginning this process and thinking about what courses you want to take. Everybody is required to take 8 full periods, 8 credits, which will be rostered over the entire school year. If you have upperclassmen or older children, you know they may have had a study hall. We don't have study hall as an option anymore because of the intervention period that's built into our day. All students are scheduled for a lunch period that's built into 3rd block. So we ask that you begin to make your decisions carefully and with great thought and conversation. As Dr. Hammond said, and I'm going to stress it, it's really important that you make a decisions now, and you do not wait until May or June to make a request. And just to explain why, if, for instance, 100 students requested microbiology as a science course, Dr. Hammond would decide that is 4 sections, say, just to make the numbers easy, of 25 students each. If your student comes to us in May and says, you know what, now I want microbiology, there may not be availability in that course for them to take. But if you make your decision and you really decide now what you want, that is used to develop the schedule. So student requests drive the number of courses and sections of each course. So that's why it's critical that you make these decisions correctly and accurately now. We encourage you to look at the prerequisites that are listed in the course description guide. Some courses, particularly our math and upper level science classes, do have prerequisites that are recommended for students to have the best success that they can in the next course. So take a look at that. We encourage you to make sure you're balancing extracurricular activities with your courses. If you are a 3-season athlete and it takes you a while to read or to do math work, you want to make sure that you're not overwhelming your schedule by taking 6 AP classes or 4 AP classes. So really take some time and think about that. Start to think about what you're interested in college. We certainly know that most kids go into college and don't know what they want to study and don't know what, and even if they say they do, oftentimes students do change once they're in college. But it's good to use high school as a chance to discover the different options. And if you look at the courses that we offer, we have so many amazing opportunities for students that I would encourage you to take things that maybe sound interesting, but you're not sure if you like them. I always say to students, if you take an elective and you find you love it, that's amazing, because perhaps that will guide you on a career path. If you take an elective then you find that you don't love it, that can also be amazing, because it will then help you narrow down your career focus and your career interest and know that that's not something that you want to pursue and study in college, where your parents will be paying by the course sometimes and by the credit. So an elective that you don't like can be as valuable as an elective that you do like. And finally, talk to upperclassmen, talk to other parents, talk to your teachers, talk to us, your counselors, and ask about the courses. You know, everyone's always willing to share their opinions and give feedback. So make sure you're having conversations now. Thank you. So we have what we call honors classes at the high school. These are courses that offer students some higher level thinking skills. So for instance, instead of focusing on the who, what, when, where, we focus more in an honors class on the why and the how. So it's more in-depth learning, it's more higher level thinking. Honors courses tend to go at an accelerated pace. So there's not going to be as much review, there's not going to be as much practice as a regular level class would. Honors classes have demanding workloads that have extra reading, writing, problem solving. As a result, they will receive extra weighted credit in your GPA. Honors courses certainly allow you to go more in depth in a subject that you're interested in and prepares you for an advanced placement class. And it also looks good on a transcript when you're applying to colleges to take an honors class or two and be successful in them. Next. Similarly, we offer classes called advanced placement, AP classes. Advanced placement classes are courses that have been designed by the College Board. So a student who is taking AP Environmental Science at Cheltenham High School is theoretically studying the same information and concepts as a student taking, excuse me, Environmental Science at a school in California. So there is a very strict curriculum. Teachers can't deviate a whole lot from it. And it is a pretty extensive based curriculum. AP classes are designed to simulate a first level of college course in terms of the content and the material. Certainly the teachers deliver it differently than a college professor would, but the content is the same as a first level course at a college level. If students take the AP test that is offered at the end of the school year and they perform well on it, they may receive credit for a college or place out of a introduction level class, because a college is going to assume with a high enough score that students have mastered the content of the college course. Be aware that because of the pacing, because of the in-depth material, you can expect 45 to 60 minutes of work per night for each AP class. So there are definitely some benefits. They will absolutely help you prepare for what college work is going to look like. They look very competitive for colleges on the transcript. It can save you money from tuition, perhaps allow students to graduate early, but it also just has some correlation with the likelihood that you'll graduate and be successful from college. And we do have 31 AP classes in every area other than phys ed. I don't believe there's a phys ed AP, but there is everything from art to music to English, math, science, social studies, and world language. So there are definitely AP classes for all students. So we do have different types of electives in terms of the formatting. The first kind are elective majors. An elective major meets every single day for one semester. Some examples are here listed: probability and statistics, sociology, and robotics. We have year-long majors. These are elective majors that meet every other day for the entire school year. Basically, these are your music classes, your world languages, and your AP classes. So if you're enrolling in one of them, expect to have that class every other day for the entire year. And then we have our elective minors. These meet every other day for one semester. These are things, can be, fun classes that maybe sound interesting, that may help you start to narrow that career choice, but they are every other day for the semester. All right, Doc Hammond is going to explain how to actually fill your schedule with these classes I talked about.
Thank you, Ms. Cohen. As you start to think about selecting the courses and you're looking through that course description guide, and you'll see in the course description guide if a course is a year-long course or if it's a half credit course that's like a minor, you'll see all those things there. But you really need to think about how they fit together. With our new schedule, we have 8 full blocks. This does not count your lunch. It does not count the intervention period. Those are 2 different things that are built into the schedule in addition to all of this. In the past, you were only, in our old schedule, we only could get 7 credits in the course of the day, and we had a lunch. Now we have 8 credits, and then we still already get our lunch, and we're getting the intervention. So moving to this block schedule did give us more options. And especially when we start taking all those courses that Ms. Cohen was talking about, especially those AP courses, where some of them only run once a day, having that extra block gives another placement in the schedule so that the courses can fit together and you can maximize those requests that you're trying to take. So as we start to pick our courses, I wanted to take this time to talk about what does it mean to fill a block? How does it look? So when you go to fill a block, for example, block 1, you have your first semester course and you have your second semester course. We could look at filling those 2 credits with 2 majors, as you see here in this example. I also could pick a major with 2 minors. You could pick all 4 minors, depending on what you need for graduation and your interests. You could have 4 different minors at one time picking to fill that full block. But when you start looking at your year-long majors, when you pick a year-long major, it meets every other day for the entire year. So that means it's meeting in semester 1 and semester 2. So if you pick a year-long major, you want to now look and see what 2 minors could I take with that major. So if you pick that year-long major, you also now want to pick a course that's going to accompany that year-long major. If you pick a year-long major with a regular major that you saw before, that year-long major will not fit with a regular major. And so you have to keep that in mind. So once you pick a year-long major, you're now looking at 2 minors, or you could pick another year-long major. So I could pick the freshman transition seminar, and I could pick Latin 3. And those 2 courses would fit nicely together. You have to keep that in mind. And those are conversations that when you meet with your counselor after making your requests, your counselor is going to look at them and make sure that the 8 credits that you are picking fit together. We also have one other type of course at the high school, and that is a year-long major with a lab. So for example, AP Calculus BC. AP Calculus BC is a year-long major that meets every other day, but there's also a lab period that goes along with it. And so when I'm now picking my courses, I see that lab course is 1.5 credits. So I must pick another minor to go along with that lab course. I can't pick another year-long major to go along with it because it's not going to fit in my schedule. And what's going to happen is when the schedule gets built, PowerSchool is going to see that you have 2 things that don't fit together. And so it's just going to not build it into your schedule. And then you're automatically going to start off next year having to make a choice between 2 things that you really want to have in your schedule. So please make sure that when you're picking the courses and you're looking at the type of courses that you're picking, you're seeing, can they all fit together? Another point that needs to be emphasized is that our elective courses are not always guaranteed. We will do our absolute best of making sure that your graduation requirements are absolutely in your schedule. But because we offer so many courses at the high school, it's something that we are very prideful that we have. We cannot guarantee that they all will fit because we don't have an unlimited option of them running. We don't have an unlimited number of sections of those courses running. There's a lot of our really special classes that, you know, our scholars want that there's only one section running at a time. And because there's only one section running at a time, it can only fit in one place in the time in that schedule. And so not everybody will not be able to get it. And so what I have to do is I look at everybody that wants it and I try to maximize it. I find the best placement in the schedule that will get as many of the kids into that course as possible. And I do those courses first when I build the schedule. I put all those special courses down and I maximize their placement. And then I start filling in the other things. And at this, I'm going to pass back to Ms. Cohen so she can walk all of you through the process of making those requests inside of PowerSchool.
Hey there. It's actually super easy to do the online requests. I sent, actually, I think Dr. Lahara came from his email address, but we sent an email today with a Loom video explaining how to do this for you guys to watch. It also has on there a worksheet for students to use to fill out. If you fill out that worksheet, this should take you very, very short amount of time. Basically, students, you're going to log on to your PowerSchool account. On the left-hand side is a class registration icon. You're going to select the screen and you're going to start filling in the sections. You will pick 5 alternates and then you'll hit submit. Course registration, Dr. Hammond, that is actually, it says March 7th. That should say
Yes.
February 1st.
Yes, I was actually going to say to everybody, that is a typo. It is on when you get this slideshow, which is posted already on the website, you will see that it says February 1st. I apologize.
Perfect. So you can go back and change your mind 100,000 times if you wanted between now and February 1st. So enter your courses, have a conversation, you can change something, but it's super easy to do. Next. And this is what it looks like. So you'll see on the side, it says class registration. As you notice, each subject area has its own drop-down box. So you'll click on the little pencil, and for social studies, you will have your 11th grade social studies choices. So it'll just give you a choice of 3 or 4, 5 at the most classes for your major requests. And then the electives you have to fill in after that. But again, super easy to do. Stressing this date as much as we can, June 13th will be the last day to email us. And now I'm going to pass you off to Ms. Jackson, who is our freshman transition program coordinator. Ms. Jackson, you're on.
Greetings and thank you, Ms. Cohen. I am Ms. Jackson and I'm the freshman transition program coordinator. And I'd like to speak to you, particularly parents and students of the class of 2026, about one of the options that's available to you at the high school for your opening year of high school. The freshman transition program does emphasize several things. Some of those things that you have listed there on our pause, our Panther pause: goal setting, enrichment, leadership, success, and mindfulness. But we also have established numerous goals. Yep, move on. Several years ago, we recognized that our freshmen needed additional support. And I think originally, one of our goals was to really meet the needs of some of the students in the middle. Some of the students were extremely motivated, did really, really well in their classes, but sometimes didn't have the best of test scores. Sometimes they were kind of overlooked for honors courses, and they might just need a little extra support to get where they wanted to go. In other circumstances, we had some students who weren't very motivated at all and kind of easily got by without doing too much. And those were the middle group of kids that this program really wanted to target. We wanted to make sure that all of the students could successfully navigate high school, but also kind of reach their potential and figure out what was their why. So the freshman transition program developed. Our first graduating class actually graduated in 2020 during the pandemic. And many of them have gone on to college. Some of them are aspiring nurses. Some of them have gone on to trade school. But we're very proud of the work that we've been doing over the last several years. One of the things that we try to also do is to make sure that we look at the whole student. So there's the academic portion, but there's also the social emotional portion that I think is really important in terms of meeting students' goals and helping them reach their potential. So the freshman transition program is in some ways very familiar in terms of the structure because we work in a team of teachers, similar to Cedar Brook, but also somewhat different. One of the things that happens at the high school is that, and we recognize this too, that a lot of students go from a teaming approach to the high school where they're in all kinds of different classes all over the building. It's a big building, it's a lot bigger places, and every class they have different students, different peers. There's not one cohesive kind of structure. And so the freshman transition program teachers, we meet once or twice a week to discuss what are our expectations, what are going to be our common policies, what are our common procedures. So there's just a lot more unity and cohesiveness for us as a team. So we have an English, social studies, math, science, and a special educator on our team. In terms of the students, we share that group of students. And I, as the coordinator, am also the teacher of a course called Freshman Seminar. And Freshman Seminar meets every other day, all year long. And it is a 1-credit course. So this course is not necessarily designed to be high stress. It really is designed to provide academic support. Although students really love the course, there are assignments which they don't necessarily like, but we focus on things like time management, goal setting, listening skills, advocating for oneself, learning to get along with others, celebrating people's differences. We've been really dealing with things like microaggressions and just things that are very much so a part of becoming a productive human being. I think some of the topics we get into are controversial, especially moving into the second semester, because then we focus on not just our own personal development, but who we are in the school community and the larger world. So we focus on things related to social justice. We look at specific cases, and the students really enjoy discussing these kinds of events, discussing major issues, and really kind of doing some problem solving. So I host several guest speakers over the course of the year, including guidance counselors and student nurses. I've invited club leaders to invite freshmen to their club. So we do a lot of things in Freshman Seminar just to get them acquainted with the high school and also with the expectations of high school work. So our goals also by the end of the year is for students to pursue their academic and social goals. And one of the things that we try to do is encourage students to really explore their options. Later on, you'll be hearing from Eastern, but for some students, maybe they want to go that route. For other kids, we will look at, hey, are there summer internships available? Are there enrichment opportunities available? So that's a really big part of the program. We do try to take as many school trips as possible. Students like that. Students have participated in essay contests and also special projects as part of the freshman transition program team. We can move on. And one of the major things that we try to do is make sure that students are celebrated. So we have our own set of awards and recognitions within the program. At times, we will have other people come in and help us to celebrate some of the accomplishments of our students. But the major thing is to soundly transition to high school and remove any obstacles that students might have in terms of that transition to high school, or help them to remove them. So there are several teachers that are part of the team. I'm not going to read all of their quotes, but I think one of the things that's consistent across all of the teachers on the team is that we provide very, very high levels of support. So there are high expectations for the students. We push them to do their very best. We also encourage them to go into honors classes if they're not in honors classes already. But it's a very important aspect of our team that all of the ninth grade teachers on the team want to be there. Some teachers get assigned to ninth grade, but others want to and volunteer to be a part of this team. And so if you're an incoming ninth grader, you want to be with teachers who want to teach you. And I think that's a very important aspect of this. And because we meet once or twice a week, we have a good idea of all of the student strengths, and we also have a good idea about what needs to be, how students need to be helped and assisted, and we can actually direct you to the resources that you need. We can move on. So there's pictures and quotes from some of our teachers on the freshman transition program. One of my, major philosophies as a teacher and as the coordinator is that we want to provide high levels of support, but also have high expectations. We really love to build relationships with our students. And, remarkably, this year I've had several seniors who've come back to me and asked for recommendations for college. Obviously, the pandemic disrupted a lot of things related to their educational process, but they made a connection with me, and I encourage them. And I like to see them come back and look at me for a resource as well. So if you are interested in joining the team and have additional questions, last year, I did have a couple Google Meets with parents and students to ask additional questions and really get at the heart of some of the concerns that they might have. And we just kind of bounced ideas off to see if this would be the best program for them. You can contact me at that email address, and I'd be more than happy to meet with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. And at this time, I will pass it off to Mr. Pimentel, who is one of our main leaders for our project-based learning program. He also oversees our gifted, but I will let him introduce himself. Mr. Pimentel, thank you.
Hi, I'm Matt Pimentel. I'm the supervisor of professional development and gifted education. And as Ben had mentioned, I've also helped support our project-based learning teachers as well. So we're going to start with just a brief student tutorial. So Ben, if you could get that spooled up for us. Oh,
the video?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
I joined PBL because I like that all my classes are connected, and I like that the teachers work together to help us learn. I joined PBL because I'm someone who learns better by doing things and seeing things, other than having to read things and then repeat it back to someone else.
I like the fact that it sets a challenge for me.
My dad and my older brother said that it would be nice for me, and they think it complements the way I think. The classes he was in moved too slow for him, so he joined PBL, and it was perfect for him, and my parents thought it would be perfect for me too.
Have to do a lot of learning on your own and like reading different things to figure out information.
It's not just writing essays or doing reports. It's actually things that you can do for a living if you're good at
What challenges me most in PBL is being more upfront and becoming a leader.
One thing I really like is that we're going more into the real world to do all of our projects.
Are the Director of Communications and the Director of Development from the Philadelphia School and myself started this company. Our
community is kind of falling short in terms of upkeep for central buildings.
The fact that there's offices all over the United States.
That's the
Yeah, and like if you have a membership, one place you can go anywhere and like use it anytime.
What challenges you the most? Sometimes I think it's hard to translate some ideas I had to other people because some people, they might think my way and they get it like that. But like other times they think differently. And so I have to kind of further explain to them. And if they don't like my idea, I have to figure out a way to translate it into their language.
So for low-income areas, we'll have model smaller houses. Yeah, like this, for example.
Everyone cares about you in PBL and they care about how you're doing and how your grades are, and yeah, that's really all I can tell you about it. It's my favorite part of my day. I really learn a lot.
They challenge me better, they help me with my work, and I love it.
Hello, my name is Maria Canella, English.
Hi, I'm Joanna Sella and I teach biology.
And my name is Mike Quaz, Social Studies, and we are the 9th grade project-based learning team. During this portion of our presentation, we will be covering our PBL objectives, give you an overview of some of our projects, take a closer look at the academics and a breakdown of our expectations, as well as information that will be helpful for you to decide if PBL is right for you. For the sake of everyone's time, we will move quickly through these slides, but feel free to pause the video at any time for a closer look.
For starters, here's how the subjects are integrated grades 9 through 12. We have honors options for all English and social studies classes, along with biology and chemistry. Here's a closer look at what we cover in 9th grade. As far as the PBL experience is concerned, we utilize Stanford University's design thinking process for all of our projects. This process has been adopted by many companies in the engineering and design industries. We also have a partnership with Philadelphia's own Thomas Jefferson University. This provides us with opportunities to collaborate with their faculty and students, as well as take visits to their campus. Now, let's take a quick look at a few of our projects. Our Field Day project tasks our students with the goal of creating a field day experience for Wyncote Elementary students by combining elements of an ancient game with adaptations of organisms. Here's a look at what we cover in our subject area for this project.
Last year, we launched our Empathy-Driven Change project that combined self-reflection with political activism. This project included visits from our school board and Pennsylvania State Representative Napoleon Nelson.
It culminated in student-produced public service announcements. Here's what we covered in our content areas.
Next, we have our City project. It involves students exploring the essential question, how does form follow function? This project provides an opportunity for our honor students to explore Center City businesses and landmarks to better understand the central business districts of cities. Project deliverables include a recommendation of improvements to township properties and 3D models of iconic landmarks around the world. Students are required to pitch their improvement ideas to township stakeholders.
To give you an idea of how assignments are integrated into the projects, here is a list of both social studies and biology assignments for the Field Day project. There will also be assignments that are exclusively for our honor students as well. In PBL, we utilize a large block of time to design the day to best serve the students and the project. Though we have a variety of schedules, here are two of our most common. The top includes a focus on academics, and the bottom includes more time for project work. Now, we know that all of this project stimulus can be challenging for the 9th graders. So when we are physically in school, we institute 2 different classroom environments, one for a focus on academics and another for a focus on work time. Just so there is no mistake, we take the classroom environment seriously and stay in close contact with parents. Our ultimate goal is to provide a rigorous academic environment that fosters learning through authentic assessments, collaboration, and problem solving. We take our cue from the age-old quote, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." We believe in high-quality final products, but stress the process and the work that is necessary to get to that point. Now, you may be wondering if PBL is right for you. After 4 years of introducing many students to the PBL experience, we have a good idea of who thrives and who have struggled in our program. Here are our thoughts. PBL is a more authentic way to experience learning through projects. PBL challenges your thinking through problem solving and making connections between what you are learning and what you are doing. PBL is a family environment. Though we have different classrooms and groupings of students, overall we spend the first 3 hours of each day together. PBL is an opportunity to create awesome work to be shared with others, not just handed into the teacher for a grade. PBL is a responsibility to figure some things out on your own, of course, with the support of your teachers. Now, what PBL isn't, PBL is not easier or less work. Some students have made that mistake and they were disappointed. PBL is not a quick or easy solution for students who have struggled in the regular classroom. Yes, we have had successes with some students who struggled in the past, but typically it has been with students who embrace collaboration, problem solving, and the design thinking process. PBL is not a program for you to be left alone to do your work just for a grade. PBL is not a program for you if you only want to work with your friends. And finally, PBL is not a program for you if you don't like projects. Simply put, the more you put into PBL, the more you will get from it. That's all we have for now. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Mike Quaz, or any of the other teachers listed here to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. If you can, there you go, right there. Thank you. So just to give some background here about why we started project-based learning in Cheltenham, it really came from the recognition that when speaking to human resources departments in industry, when speaking to academia, government, and asking them, who is your ideal candidate coming out of a K-12 system? And the things that you see bulleted pointed here are the sorts of responses that we're getting now that we're well into the 21st century. And the focus is on people being able to demonstrate that they are problem solvers, they can take on responsibility, they work well with others, they can also work independently, that they're critical thinkers, they manage their time and resources, and that they can communicate with a wide variety of people. And these are all of the core skills that are built into the project-based learning experience. And as we often say in PBL, the teachers and the adults, our project is the students. We view the students as our own project, and our end goal is to have them be better at the things that you see listed here. And that's really sort of the big picture aim of PBL. And the video that Mr. Quaz put together that you just saw details how we approach that in Cheltenham in order to get to that big end goal. So next slide. So this is piggybacking on what Mr. Quaz had already said, but just to point it out again, what is PBL? It's about trying to bring the real world into the classroom. We're trying to close that gap so that when students are in school, they feel they're doing authentic work that is connected to the real world. It's a community. The students are together for many hours during the day, which is an unusual situation relative to your more traditional high school experience. And that does build a sense of community. The kids spend a lot of time with each other. And it's about using the knowledge that you learn through your courses. So we want students to learn the things they need to be successful in the world, but ultimately it's about application. Take what you have learned and apply it in some way. Some things PBL is not, it's not easy. It's not a panacea. It's not the solution to all problems. It's not for every single student. It's not better than the traditional educational approach in every single way. It's not like a big solution for everything. It's its own approach. And lastly, it's not for X students. It's not for any particular kind of student, except to say that it's best aligned for students who want to engage in real world project work. But that can be from a wide variety of students with different kinds of interests and backgrounds. So there's no sort of particular student that this is set for. So Next slide, please. And I think you can just, I think that's from previous year. If you can just go to the next slide. So just to give an example what the schedule looks like, what you see on the left is a sample schedule, and you can see that the courses that are in the red box, those are the PBL courses. So the students are in the PBL part of their day during that box section, which ends up being more or less half of the day. And then what happens outside of the PBL block are the other parts of the block schedule that you see listed there, which are blocks that are filled by other required courses, namely math, language, and electives. Also, within the PBL track, within each one of the PBL courses, a student can select or opt to take it as an on-level course or as an honors course. So the honors students are in the same classroom with all the other students. It's not a separate group, but there are separate expectations for the students who are in the honors group. They have more assignments and higher level requirements in the course. So 10th grade, you can see here, is almost the same thing. The only difference is that PE is flipped for health, but otherwise the scheduling is more or less the same. The particular courses change slightly. For example, it's like a different science class, but it's otherwise more or less the same for 10th grade. And then in 11th grade, that's where we start to get some other options, including the option to take advanced placement environmental science. So the students can take environmental science as on level, they can take it as honors, or they can take it as AP. So there are advanced placement options within the PBL section as well. Oh, and sorry, Ben, go back one. And also, just to be clear, you can see on the right-hand side that for those students who elect to attend Eastern, that we've built the schedule so that they can be both in PBL and also attend Eastern. And then lastly, in 12th grade, you can see that the PBL block shrinks in 12th grade, and it's limited to government and PBL social studies. However, it should also be noted that this also, the other part of PBL there is the senior internship experience for PBL, which is split between two experiences. In semester one, that is a partnership that we have with Thomas Jefferson University, East Falls, where their professors lead a course in design. And our students take that design course as part of semester one. And then when they get into semester two, it then transitions into our senior internship experience that is specific to PBL. And students go out into the real world, shadow people, etc. So that's the basic sort of way that the program is built. So I hope here that we discussed a little bit why we're doing it, what it's like for students who are in the program, and what some of the scheduling considerations are. If you have questions, please reach out to any of the PBL teachers or myself. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you, Mr. Pimentel. And last but not least, I would like to bring up Ms. Shields from our Eastern Center for Arts and Technology to go over those options with you and the incredible selection of courses that are offered from our Eastern program.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hammond. Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Shields, and I'm the Marketing and Recruitment Coordinator at the Eastern Center for Arts and Technology. Thank you to Cheltenham for having me. And just if I could just take a moment and talk about that PBL. We have so many students at Eastern that take PBL there at Cheltenham. And I have to tell you, over the years, I've gotten to know many of them. And they are motivated, they are entrepreneurial, and they really have a true passion for whatever career field that they choose to pursue at Eastern. So I really think those skills in PBL are very transferable to any of our programs at Eastern. So our programs are half day, Monday through Friday, all year long, 2 hours and 45 minutes of what we consider professional development. So we currently have 16 career and technical programs. Well, this year we have 15. Next year we have 16. All of our programs are for juniors and seniors. The curriculum is built on 2 years. There is one exception to that rule, and that's Allied Health. That is a one-year seniors only program for students interested in pursuing a career in the healthcare field. The other programs that we have are 2 years in length, such as automotive technology, which is the inside of the car, the engine, the brakes, the wiring, business and technology professional, collision repair, which is the outside of the car, so students learn how to pull out a dent, sand it down, repaint it, refinish it, detail it. Commercial art, which is graphic design, illustration, and photography. Construction technology, which is exactly what it sounds like. As a matter of fact, they are currently building a full-scale house in the middle of our construction bay, along with HVAC and electrical. So it'll be a fully functioning house that you all will be able to see hopefully at our open house in February, which I'll talk more about in just a few minutes. Cosmetology, which is hair, skincare, nails, and makeup. Culinary arts, which is cooking, baking, catering, front of the house, back of the house, all sorts of restaurant management, and there's even an element of nutrition in that program. Electrical technology, that's the first step if you're interested in becoming a commercial or a residential electrician. Our newest program, which is currently under construction, is exercise science and rehabilitation, which I think is going to be a really great program for Eastern, because so many of our students in Allied Health, their real career goal is physical therapy. And now they can have a program that's a little more custom designed for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and of course for personal fitness training. So it's going to be a really exciting program. We also have heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, networking and cybersecurity, protective services, which is police, fire, security, and EMT, robotics and automated technology. We're in our second year of robotics and automated technology. I know you all at Cheltenham do have a robotics course, so this might be a nice step in the direction of, kind of securing a career and figuring out what it is you want to do in the manufacturing or robotics field. We have a state-of-the-art lab as soon as you walk into Eastern, and we have universal robotic arms that our students get to program and to troubleshoot. We also have a 3D printer and many other different things that our students can work on to help them figure out if this is the right career for them. Veterinary science, always a popular program at Eastern. We even have a doggy daycare and a grooming clinic that will hopefully be open to the public again sometime soon. And welding technology. So Eastern is free to the student. It is a true investment that Cheltenham is making with sending a student to Eastern. So there are program fees that apply to each program, such as Allied Health, for example. They do need to purchase scrubs. The welding technology students, for example, they do need to purchase quite a bit of fire protection, such as gloves, a helmet, a jacket, overalls, steel-toed boots, etc. And many of our programs do have program-specific t-shirts that they wear. And transportation is provided by all of our school districts. So it's not just Cheltenham that attends Eastern. We have Abington, Springfield, Upper Dublin, Happer Horsham, Lower Moreland, Upper Moreland. So all over Eastern Montgomery County, which is really, really cool because students get to meet other students from all over the area that share their same interests. Okay. So our programs are 2 hours and 45 minutes each day. The AM session is 7:45 to 10:30, and the afternoon session is noon to 2:45 p.m. And we work with the guidance counselors at each of our participating school districts to make sure that the session that you pick works best for your schedule. As I mentioned, we are owned and operated by the 9 school districts in Eastern Montgomery County. So it is sort of like college in that way, where you're going to get to branch out and meet new people. We also have at our school a student leadership organization. It's called Skills USA. The best part about Skills USA is that our students get to compete against other career and technical students from other career and technical schools for awards, scholarships, and medals. Each year they also raise money throughout the year for specific charities. They have candy sales. They have, we have so much food at Eastern. Sometimes it's crazy. But we do raise money every year. This year it's the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but each year that charity, that initiative changes. Another huge benefit of attending Eastern is our paid internships. We also call it co-op. So halfway through your senior year, if you have good grades and good attendance, you can work with your instructor and actually go out and work in your field in a paid internship 4 out of 5 days a week when you would typically be at Eastern. And then that one day when you are back at Eastern, you would either work on an area where you're weak or you would jump in on a class project. So co-op is an amazing experience that many of our seniors take advantage of. One thing that's really important that I want to stress today is that many of our students do go to post-secondary education if that is a part of their goal. And last year, 60% went on to some form of post-secondary education, whether it was a certificate program, a 2-year program, or a 4-year college degree. Many of them went with college credits already earned at Eastern. There are 2 basic ways that our students can earn college credits while they're at Eastern. The first is through an articulation agreement, which we have set up with many, many colleges, and the state of Pennsylvania has set it up. And now those are colleges and universities that consider the work that our students do at Eastern college level. So they're able to get some free credits, saving you guys time and money. The second way that you can earn college credits at Eastern is through our dual enrollment partnership with Montgomery County Community College. And currently we have 3 programs that are dually enrolled with Montco. Allied health students get 3 credits for the medical terminology class at Montco. Our networking and cybersecurity students, they can get 12 credits, which is essentially an entire semester. And our business and technology professional students, they can get up to 9 credits over their 2 years. Now, they do pay for those credits, but it's 1/3 of the cost that you or I would spend if we wanted to go. I believe this year it's about $190 for a 3-credit class, which is pretty amazing. And another huge benefit of Eastern, it's the professional industry standard certifications that are attached to each one of our classes. Allied health students, they get CPR and first aid. Welding technology students, they have the opportunity to get their D11 in structural steel, making them a certified welder. HVAC, they get their OSHA and their SP2 and their Environmental Protection Agency certification. So every one of our programs has some form of certificate that can go on your resume, making you more valuable. I just wanted to share, we have so many successful Cheltenham grads. I just wanted to share this one today. This is my friend, Fred Fox. He is a graduate, 2017 graduate of the Electrical Technology program. Remember him when he was a student at Eastern. He always had a smile on his face. He loved being there. He loved working with his hands. He became a leader in the program. He was Student of the Month at Eastern, as was his twin sister, Rovisa, from Culinary Arts. But what's so special about Fred is that when he was a senior, he actually got chosen by our facilities management department to intern. And then after that, they offered him a full-time job through the company, but at a different location. Well, back in 2020, we were actually looking for a facilities technician, and Fred applied for the job. He got it. And now he is at the ripe old age of 24. He's our facilities manager, and he is doing an amazing job. He's definitely the youngest facilities manager that we have ever had, and we're just so proud of him. So just to kind of wrap things up for Eastern, on February 3rd, we do have the opportunity for 10th graders to come visit 3 programs of their choice in the afternoon from 12:15 to 2:15. I believe you all have received, if you have a child in 10th grade, you have received the field trip form, and they can also sign up online. And as a follow-up to the visit to Eastern, your student likes what they see and they really want you to see it and meet the teacher, we also are going to have an open house on Sunday, February 27th from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Now at this time, I believe that's an in-person event. Of course, I will send out the information if anything changes, but fingers crossed. And again, my name is Amy Shields, and feel free to reach out to me. My email is ashields@easttech.org, EASTECH.org. And I'll be happy to answer any questions that you all have. And thank you so much for your time tonight, and thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Shields, for being there with us. So the second half of the evening is going to actually be for all of the parents and scholars to view the different course offerings. Yes, we have our course description guide, but we have videos from each department, or as I said earlier in the presentation, teacher leaders that kind of give you a summary of the different courses that we offer. Again, we offer so many courses at the high school that we're just trying to present it as best we can to you. But that's what the course description, our course catalog is for, to make sure that you guys have a good understanding of what those courses are. I want to stress again to all of you the importance of this process. I wrote as an answer to one of the questions, whether you are making your request yourself when you're doing it in PowerSchool, or after you make those requests, you go and you having that meeting with your counselor. March 11th is a very important day because that is the day that those requests need to be in. After March 11th, what ends up happening in the process of building the schedule is that I will then look at all of the requests that are made. And I'm going to see that there were 40 requests for this class, 20 requests for this class, 30 requests for this class. And I'm going to start making some difficult decisions of, based on 40 requests, I'm going to run 2 sections of that class. Based on 20 requests, I'm only going to run 1 section of that class. And I have to do that for all of the courses that we offer. And then there's going to be some courses that, you know, I only have 6 requests. I may not run that course. It is so important that your requests are accurate at this part of the process, because I may not run a course, or I may not run enough sections for people to change their minds, because I'm running the sections based on the requests that are made. And then I'm building in a little bit of room into those courses for incoming students. But that is how the schedule gets built. It gets built on your requests. So if you just put your ideas out there like, oh yeah, I'll give this a try, and I may change it if I don't like it, you may not have the opportunity to make that change later. So it is extremely important that you take this time, you read these courses, you reach out to a teacher, you talk to your guidance counselor and say, hey, who usually teaches that course? I just want to learn a little bit more about it, because this is how the schedule gets built. And if I don't run enough sections, or I only put 1 section because that's the number of courses that are offered, it now limits the number of people that may want to change their mind to get into those courses later. So please ask as many questions as possible during this process. Make sure you're picking the courses that are right for you. And then I will do what I do and make those schedules and try to make them all fit together. And I'm going to work with the guidance counselors to make sure our special requests and our high powered, you know, I want AP this, and I want this AP class, and I want this AP class, and I want this minor. I got to make sure they all fit together, but I do that based on this part of the process. And so after this part of the process, after March 11th, when that starts getting built and you're starting to change your mind, there's no guarantee that those options will fit together any longer, because I'm making them based on your requests now. So please, please, please take the time to do this part of the process correctly. You can never be wrong asking questions. So right now, I don't want to hold you up any longer. I've taken enough of your time and I apologize for that. When you want to go to these videos, you can go to the Cheltenham High School's page. You can click on academics and then you have Curriculum Night 2022 on that page, which will bring you to the website. Or you can type in cheltenham.org/curriculum night 22 as the direct link. And you will see there, you'll see courses in business, courses in computer science, which has been growing over the years. You have a diversified occupations program. You have your Eastern program, you have English department courses, freshman transition program, health and phys ed courses, math department, our music department, the project-based learning courses. And so you'll be able to click on those links to get a better understanding of what is offered. Thank you all so much. One question that was just asked, I'm not sure if it was answered, but I'll just say it right now for all of you, our 8th grade families. I can't wait to have you in the high school. You will work for this part of the process to make your request with your 8th grade counselor, Ms. Schuler. After that part is finished and the course starts getting built, then you will start being able to reach out and send emails to your high school counselor on making those changes. Your high school counselor will finalize your schedule and make sure everything works. And then it'll go back to you, but then you'll start communicating with your high school counselor. But you will be meeting with Ms. Schuler. She's going to show you a similar video as what we shared with you tonight. And then the portal will be open. You'll be able to make requests just like the high school students. And then after that part of the process, Ms. Schuler will meet with each 8th grader and make sure that they're correct, their requests are accurate. Thank you so much and have a great night, everyone.